down across the floor. Do not teach me anymore. If what I have is not enough, this paradise has turned to dust for you. For you. So please don't turn the light out. Let it burn brighter. I can see so clearly now. 'Cause there's a fear that's greater, drags us through the danger, to the things that hold us down. Drag this tide out through the night. I'm still unsure of what is right. But the last time we celebrate this quiet hour, I will wait for you. For you. So please don't turn the light out. Let it burn brighter. I can see so clearly now. 'Cause there's a fear that's greater, drags us through the danger, to the things that hold us down. I try to fight what can't be seen, and what there was will never be still. Other sides that we can't steal, and can't deny the way I feel. So don't turn the light out. Let it burn brighter. I can see so clearly now. For every fear that's fading, another heart is waiting. It takes a man to hold things down.
Hey, yes, people, welcome back to another stream. Hope you guys are all doing well. Smash these likes up on the way and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. It's the two guys who are fighting for dear life to hang on to whatever hair we've got on the top of our head, isn't it, bro?
Bro, that is me. That is me. Some more than others, bro. I'll own that. Some more than others. Trust me.
Are you good, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Was you at the game on the weekend? Or?
Nah. So there's two reasons. One, I'm trying to drink less. I haven't drunk for like about 16 days now. Which, bro, I know to some people they're sounding like fucking hell. That's not a lot. Trust me. To me, that is mental. 16 days is mad. And I know coming up to Manchester for the derby, that wouldn't have ended well. So it's one of them ones where at the moment it's best that I don't go to games just for a couple of months, maybe just for a month or two. Then I think I'll be at a place where I can go to the game, be around people drinking. But bro, derby day definitely was not that day. And the other thing is last year, the 2-1 at home. I was there and I kind of just thought, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm cursed, so I'm going to dodge this one. And then I watched it and was fucking livid. I didn't go, but
yeah, it was
best atmosphere at the Etihad since Madrid in the
Champions
League.
Everyone's been saying the atmosphere. The atmosphere was great. You know, it was a bit weird because I know this sounds a bit backwards and a bit strange, but you know what? Like, I think Hatton Diet probably got everyone like I know it sounds backwards, but everyone was probably like up for it for him. You know what I mean? So that probably was another reason why. No,
you
it
know
sounds a
what?
bit weird saying it, but that's probably true.
No. Bro, sometimes out of, yeah, I hear what you're saying, because even what I was going to say then, I had to stop myself and think,
It sounds weird, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, I think
It
that's
was
what happens.
it was a catalyst. It was one of the many
Catalyst.
catalysts.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot of things about that game, and about where we are right now, that fucking that game was so needed. Like, whether it be the fact that where we were. Let's be real. We went into that game. When people were trying to say to me, "Oh, Daps, why aren't City fans so confident?" I said, well, because however shit Man United are, right? And this is the thing. When people saying, "Oh, you scared of United?" I said, I'm not scared of fucking Manchester United. I'm not thinking this Manchester United team looks good and are going to go on to be world beaters. I'm worried about how we're looking at the moment, right? And I said, and also they took 4 points off of us last season, which was the worst season I've seen in my 43-year life. Man United finished 15th and they took 4 points off of us, right? So, of course, they were going to the ground with a bit of a bounce. But same with us. We needed a fucking win, We needed it badly, right? Because if we lost that game, knowing we then faced Arsenal, bro, let's be real, we lost that game. There's some seriously fucking loud claims for shit coming from the fan base, right?
And at that point, I think you're struggling to ignore it, you know?
Bro, listen, exactly that, bro. It's one of those ones. So there's that. There's also, like, when you look back at it, this is why the Derby Day was so beautiful for me. We needed that. Like, it's been a build-up and, we were nervous, we were anxious, and boom. But then also Foden coming back and putting in that performance. And again, the catalyst for that might have been a bit of... It might have been a bit of the Ricky Hatton thing, because you got to remember, like, I think Pep said it in his interview afterwards, that Manchester City, since 2008, Manchester City and its supporters are a family, And when you're looking at the celebrities, there's certain faces that have been consistent across Manchester City, right? Ricky Hatton, Gallagher. You'll even probably say, like, there's some ex-players like Joe Hart, I guess. Phil Foden has been there throughout all of this, right? Phil Foden knows Ricky Hatton's son. Phil Foden knows Ricky Hatton, right? So it meant a lot to him. So Foden coming back in. Then you look at Donnarumma as well, bro. Like, I can't lie. For me, that was the perfect start to a man's career. To the point where, bro, I love Edison to bits, Absolutely love Edison to bits. Bro, how after one game am I falling in love with a big Italian man? But I am, bro. I can't lie. Like, everything he did, the way he relaxed the defense, the way, bro. At one point in the box, I see him a couple of United, and this is the day before on a watch long. I've been criticizing how Premier League defenders, Premier League goalkeepers are needing way too much protection from their defenders on corners. Like, goalkeepers are usually big fucking units, but they're having to have players in front of them protect them. Bro, I see Donnarumma just pushing man by himself, 2 men at the same time, just boom, get out of my way, right? But then, to do the knee slide, the way I'm going through pictures for thumbnails and I'm seeing him giving it to all the City fans, I just think, I love this man already. He's a leader, bro. You can see why he's a captain. You can see why he's a captain. Like, because I'm already there as a fan, getting inspired. I'm getting inspired by this guy. Like, and then, of course, you talk about the saves, but everything about that derby was what we needed. Like, it's a big release. And obviously, because of the way I've just spoke, there will be some rivals in here that will be going, "Oh, look at Daps getting giddy now, City are back." Not once have I said that, right? Because we're on a long journey back. A lorry's fucking had to brake. Now it's got to go through 5 gears to get back to full speed. We're still in first gear, right? And we've got Arsenal away. But fucking hell, we needed that badly, man. We needed that badly. And to go against them lot.
You know what I like, bro? And Gary, I'll come to your super chat in a second, bro. You know what I liked about the game is I felt like we adapted to the opposition.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time we've adapted our game. Like, you know what I mean? Like we was playing a lot more counter-attacking football, a lot more quick transition football, direct football. And I felt for the first time in a long time, we actually set up in a different way rather than just going through the motions and playing the same style. Like, you know what I mean? We played against Spurs and then we played against Brighton, and it was like carbon copy style performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas United was completely different.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, that like Pep has realized, we need to adapt. We can't keep playing the same way that we've been playing. Otherwise, we could have been for another long ass season.
Yeah. See, this is you're spot on. This is where there's loads of players we can give credit to, and I'm not going to start glazing Pep now and being like, fucking hell, yeah, Pep's back as well. I'm not going to do that. But all I wanted from this season was to see improvement, because I've been very clear on South Stand that after 10 games, I will form my personal opinion on whether I think Pep's going to turn this season round or turn City round from where we were last season to back where we should be, right? After 10 games, I think I will form an opinion. Now, for anyone that thinks, oh my God, Daps, you're only giving him 10 games, then you're going to be Pep out. It's not what I'm saying. Firstly, last season did happen, right? We have to remember last season did happen. That's not... But I'm giving him a pass on that, but it's still there. 10 games, I will form my decision. I'll still back him no matter what, right? But after 10 games, I will form my opinion. And the key thing with it, and I think someone was in your chat after I said this saying, oh my God, Daps is saying he don't mind if we lose X number of games. What I'd said was that if we lose games, but I see that Pep is showing that he can adapt and he is noticing things and he is changing, right? Then that's all I can fucking ask for, right? So, for example, the Brighton game, he started Kuzanov, right? Now, Kuzanov got injured and we lost the game, but Pep still showed that he trusts Kuzanov to play him as a centre-back. We saw that. And you look at most of the games, so far this season, Pep is adapting every single game and trying different things. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what everyone says about City every season, that Pep tinkers at the start of the season. And he is adapting. There's so many things, bro. Even little things like it was nice to see substitutions where it's Gonzalez for Rodri and Savio on the left, bro. That was literally a double substitution. I'm like, praise the fucking Lord. Pep is actually doing what we're asking him to do. Yeah. So I agree with you. Pep is showing signs of, and some of it might be forced. Some of it, maybe I'm crediting Pep a bit too much, but even the little things like Donnarumma, if you look at our goalkeeper, their goalkeeper, and would you say it's fair to say that most what players do on pitches is often influenced by instructions from a manager, right?
I mean, I think you have to come to that conclusion, don't you?
Okay, cool. So we look at our goalkeeper who'd only been at the club for 2-3 days and apparently literally has no feet, right? Literally none. They're just stubs there, right?
Stubs.
So, well, that's the narrative. That is
the narrative, bro.
So therefore, he can't pass out from the back, apparently, right? And so therefore, probably United, and they did. United are probably going to try and press him more than they might press some guys. Because remember, we're used to seeing a Man United team that's sit in their own fucking half, right? They actually trying to press the goalkeeper, but it looks to me like maybe Pep had said to him, listen, because and by the way, another thing, Trafford in the first couple of games, maybe he's tried a bit too hard to play out from the back and be Edison. Whereas Donnarumma, maybe partly because of him and partly because of his instructions from Pep, bro, he was happy to go long and just boot the fucking ball, right? Which again shows that Pep's probably looked at this and thought, right now, Derby Day, you've only been at the club for 3 days. We ain't going to teach you how to play ball from the back within that time. Just go long. You look at the other manager, bro, the amount of times they should have just gone long and they didn't. Their goalkeeper was just...
I know. But the thing is that, so this is why when people was having these debates about Donnarumma and about him being really, really bad on the ball, I just fundamentally always believed, that Pep is not going to ask Donnarumma to play all these short passes and that we was always going to go long. So it's no surprise to me that Donnarumma just smacked the ball really, really long all the time. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not going to ask Donnarumma, and he said that in his press conference. He said, I'm not going to ask Donnarumma to do something that he's uncomfortable at doing.
So I just shared some. I don't know if you're interested in seeing this. It's just a interesting.
Donnarumma comes in. There's a chance. That's an elite keeper. I know you guys are slandering this guy. This guy.
He can't kick, Hamza. He can't play with his feet.
I don't care about kicks. I care about saves. The goalkeeper
That's
must
how
see
City play football. That's how Manchester City plays football.
But
How did we score the third goal?
But his kick is not that bad. You guys are making out the guy can't kick.
He's got fucking pegs for legs. He can't
guess
kick
what?
for shit.
Guess what? He's good at long range passing. He can kick that ball to Haaland. Shot stop. Did you see the saves he made in the Champions League?
Exactly. That's the only time people have seen him though, Hamza, in 1-2 games.
Nobody's seen him. Nobody watches
People
him.
don't see him enough to know that he's actually dog shit with his feet. Like, genuinely.
Mark's dressing room.
Several days later.
Donnarumma, first of all, what a fucking performance, man. What a performance. The big Don in net, straight in, debut in a Manchester derby. What a keeper. Never doubted him for a second. Never doubted him for a second. What a fucking hero. Build him a statue now. 1 game in.
Shout out to Alphabet Chips. He is on to Jay. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm getting set. I've got another one to release to put out later on. He's on to him. Hold tight, Jay. Hold tight, Jay.
Yeah, but do you get what I'm saying though? Like, I always felt for me, like Pep. The thing is with Donnarumma, is like I never believed we was going to get Donnarumma as a like for like replacement for Edison.
No.
In that we was going to ask Edison to do what we was going to ask Donnarumma to do what Edison was. If we was going to do that, then yeah, it would have been a stupid signing. I always believed, because I think Pep Guardiola has a brain, that he was going to bring in Donnarumma and he was going to adapt the way that we was going to play. And as you've seen, match day 1, there you go. We played a completely different way. Donnarumma, it was pass out when there's no risk, pass out on the edge of the box. If there's any risk whatsoever, go long. Yeah. And that is exactly what I always thought we was going to do with Donnarumma. And then he pulls out a world-class save. And that was the perfect example of why we bought Donnarumma. That game. Well, you watched 1 game and you've seen why we bought him.
Do you know what? There was another couple. There was a couple. So there was that save. There was one where someone went through on the right-hand side and he made one save and then got up and made himself big. And the guy basically then put it wide of the post, right? And that is exactly one of the big things with him is how huge he is. And he went to ground, made a save, was straight back up and in the guy's face, just being a menace, and the guy put it wide. The second one, and it was a simple save, right? And he made it look so fucking elegant, yeah? There was this shot that it floated in the air. It was slow moving. It was like a slow motion.
The Sesko
right.
one.
Yeah, right. But the way if that was someone like Ramsdale, Ramsdale's firstly positioning would have been shitter, right? So it would have been a more difficult save. He would have sprung up and made it look like the most fucking unreal save ever. And then, bro, Donnarumma did some mad slow motion jump and did a basketball push down into the ground and then just caught it. Bro, it's the most elegant. But the thing is how easy he made it look. Was like, that's bread and butter to him. I can't lie. This is what I'm saying, bro. I was not glazing Donnarumma before we got him. I was kind of like, yes, I want him because ultimately he's a very good goalkeeper. But, bro, 1 game in, I'm just thinking I can see every single reason why we bought this man. And I was wrong. I was wrong on it. I was saying we don't really need him. I think we need him more than ever.
Yeah, no, I wanted him, man. I wanted him. After the Club World Cup, I was unfortunately like with Edison. I was done with Edison. I was like, nah, the guy's not locked in, you know. And yeah, as soon as we got linked with him, I was like, yeah, we need to get him in. And I just think he's been, you know, it's for 1 game in, and I just think he looks great. And I think we need players like that. You know what I mean? Because our mentality of this team at the moment is not what it used to be. I think we need winners. Because the thing is, right, you know, we've spoke a lot about how City have bought a load of young players over recent times, and you know, the players that we bought that are young and not that developed and are maybe a couple of years away from where we need them to be, which doesn't help because that means they're not as good as what we previously had. But we've also not spoke about how those young players haven't won anything.
Yeah.
Savio's not won anything. Doku's not won anything. Huzanov's not won anything. Vita Hayes didn't win anything. Do you know what I mean? Nico Gonzalez hasn't won anything. A lot of these
Yeah.
players that we bought that are young, not only are they not as good as the other players that we used to have, they've also not won anything. So I think, something that, maybe I only just really thought about like in the last week or so with Donnarumma, but he's bringing this winning mentality back to Manchester City, and that's what we need, bro.
Yeah. I think you saw before he'd even got to the club, him and Haaland sharing that little that little social media post about each other, right? And straight away, you could think this is a type of signing that and we saw Rodri before the international break, what Rodri was saying about, this is a type of signing that would get Rodri and Haaland up for it, yeah? That they're looking at this signing going, this is more
Oh,
likely.
1 second, Daps. Yeah, chat, I know Doku won a Premier League. I'm talking about when we signed him.
Yeah,
I'm talking about when we signed him, innit?
Yeah.
Before we signed him.
Yeah, I just think you can see that relationship with Haaland already building, yeah, that it does look like, when you can see players just recognise, yeah, you're my type of mentality. You're what I need. High fives again. I missed them. I haven't seen them for a while.
Well, the thing is as well, Haaland, the thing is, yeah, like people want to do this thing where they go, oh, I'm not bothered about trophies and that. Well, fine, but the players are.
Yeah.
Rodri is.
Yeah,
he's pissed off right now. Haaland is. Haaland hasn't signed a 10-year contract for us to not win anything.
Oh, Haaland was mad pissed off. Like Haaland, Steve spoke with Haaland after the Brighton game, right? And Haaland was pissed off. Trust me, Haaland. And this is where I like a man that backs their chat. And Haaland made it very clear to Steve: go out with fucking chest because we're having them. Right, we're having Man United. I promise you, we know what needs to be done, and we're having them. Right, and he completely, from minute one, he backed every single. Bro, he showed how much he loves City and how much he hates Man United. Right, you could see it, bro. And we can look at the finishes, the two great finishes. We can look at some of the. Bro, by the way, we need to shout out Haaland this season because Haaland's passing this season. Yeah, he's as in his chance creation for others. Yeah, it must be going up because some of the passes he's put through for others this season already. Yeah. But that moment in the second half where he was in the box defending, I think four interceptions in a row. Right.
Oh, it was mad, wasn't it? It was absolutely insane.
That is a player that is backing his chat. And if he's telling someone we're fucking up these red bastards, then bro, that's what he's doing. He's making sure that he don't have to go back afterwards and say my bad. Yeah. He made sure of that. Him and Foden.
He was on it, man. I give him a 10 out of 10 on my player ratings.
Yeah. Bro, it was exactly that. That's what we need. That is what we need. That because I said after the Brighton game, no fight, no bite, just shite, right? And that was it. For me, it's always the fight. Like that second half performance against Brighton, it almost looked like we didn't even care that we were fucking losing, right? And that is always that's the point where I'm ready to. I always talk about a Spurs game where we ended up winning it. Remember the one where your goat came in and saved City in the second half?
Yeah.
Thursday night game, right?
Yeah.
And at halftime, I think that's the first time I've heard the City fans boo at halftime, right? For a long time, right? And I said afterwards, when people were saying, oh, you shouldn't boo players, I said, listen, right? I said, I'll be honest with you. It was out of frustration because when you know how good a team can be, and then you see a half, like that first half, where there's absolutely no fucking fight or desire, then you are going to, and especially when it's a Thursday night kickoff, 7 p.m. I'd rushed all the way up from Milton Keynes, got there 2 minutes before the game. Everyone tried their hardest to get there to support the team. If you don't see the fight on the pitch, then that's when the frustration really starts to kick in, right? Because you're going, do you know what? This isn't even that things aren't going away. You don't care no more. And from quite a few players on that pitch, you could see they care. Whether it be Foden, do you know what? Even Doku, like we've got to say on Doku, bro. Like you can see that Doku is fighting to prove himself at this football club.
Of course he is.
And he is. I've seen signs. And if we go back to the Club World Cup, correct me if I'm wrong. Doku was one of our better players in the Club World Cup.
He was probably. I think off of my memory, I think he was probably our best player. Yeah.
And then if we go back to the back end of last season, he was probably one of our best players at the back end of last season, right?
Yeah, it was decent. Yeah.
And I just think, actually, do you know what? Doku is fighting to try and prove himself, yeah? And it's interesting to see when he comes, actually, when he isn't being told to hug that left-hand side, he looks pretty fucking good, you know.
Yeah, the problem that he's got when he's touching, in fact, let me just do this super chat real quick. Yeah, they got Gary, man. I appreciate it. It says we need to start glazing Cousinov, bro. He's a
absolutely.
tank. Oh, trust me, you know, anytime, any place, Gary. You know what I mean, I love the Cousinov glaze, man. You
From
know
day
me.
one.
Yeah, any time, any place, I'm on the Huzanov. In fact, we might do it on this stream as well, Gary.
Oh, well, we can. Yeah.
We can fucking glaze Huzanov anytime
Bro,
you want, mate.
I've got a donut that needs glazing, to be fair, because it's a jammy one, but we can glaze the donut. Yeah, let's get glazing.
But just on Doku, big up, guy, man. I appreciate it. We'll go on to Huzanov next. Yeah, I think it's becoming clear, yeah, that Doku probably can't be that touchline winger because on the left. Now, maybe he can do it on the right. I don't know. But on the left, he can't do it, right? Because he's too far away from the goal. I don't think he's got a good enough cross on him, you know what I mean, from that left-hand side, whether it's on his right foot or left foot. It's quite interesting, right? But you just mentioned then, like, obviously playing a little bit further inside, and he played really well. Do you remember the game? And chat might have to help me here, right? I always come back to it. I think it was in his first season. We played away at Newcastle.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, Newcastle. We played away at Newcastle, and Pep played Doku almost as a central midfielder off the left-hand side, and he was causing absolute chaos for Newcastle. They couldn't handle him.
Yeah.
And I always felt
because midfielders, yeah, you're right, because as defenders, especially as fullbacks, you're taught how to, you know, or you're prepared as best as you can for how to deal with Doku. As a midfielder, you're going, oh, fuck me, whoa. This isn't what I was expecting. I hear it. I
think you've got to get him inside. And of course, you know, we brought in Pep Linders, and Pep Linders says Pep Linders likes to play with 3 forwards. Yeah. So he wants to tuck Doku infield. And since he's come into the club at the Club World Cup, we've seen Doku, not all the time, but we've seen him much more infield and I think that's if he's going to work out, and I still have my doubts, but if he's going to work out at Manchester City, he's going to have to be further infield on the pitch. On that left-hand side, on the touchline, it just does not work.
Ultimately, if you look at where I think we went wrong, if you look at the last 3 seasons, right? Season 1, season 2, Haaland's numbers were better than season 3, right?
Yeah.
Now, you look at the players we had season 1, season 2 compared to season 3. Now, we all, I think, agree that when you have a player like Erling Haaland, the number one, the plan A should be get the ball to fucking Haaland as quickly as possible.
100%.
Right?
That's what I think.
So if you then look at, if you're playing with Savio on the right, who, when Savio plays on the right, his job is to, or what he tends to try and do is cut inside and shoot, right?
Mm.
Is that getting the ball to Haaland? No, it's not.
Nope.
Then you go to the left-hand side, and on the left-hand side, you've got Doku, who doesn't scan the pitch for Haaland, right? That's not his game. Quite clearly, we've seen he doesn't scan the pitch. So ultimately, we're not playing to Haaland's strengths if we're playing Doku on the left and Savio on the right. You switch Savio to the left-hand side, where he would use his left foot to cross the ball, then maybe we're starting to get the ball to Haaland quicker. And maybe this is it with Doku. And I'm with you. I'm not here now saying, do you know what? Yeah, Doku's it. Doku, we don't need to bring any wingers in next transfer window or anything. But maybe, you know, people said about Cherky, it's very important that Pep doesn't, like, sometimes you need to give a player like Cherky some freedom to get the best out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the same with Doku. He needs to be given a bit more freedom to just work where he wants to work.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like I said many times with Doku, like the potential is sky high, but potential could always be potential. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, this is it now. This is he's got to do it this year. We can't be giving players 4 years. But I do think that Pep either needs to put him on the right-hand side, or if he is playing off the left, he needs to be tucked in a lot closer to Haaland. Yeah, a lot. You know what's funny, right? If you actually look at his goal against, because obviously Doku's only got 2 assists to Haaland, right? In his three seasons.
You see, bro? Did you see? Lads put a post up the other day saying, "Give your craziest derby predictions," right? and I commented saying, Doku assist for Haaland.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot. And then someone tagged me yesterday saying, nah, as if you fucking called this. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking mad. There's no way. But it's mad. That
Well,
when
if you
see
actually
it from
look at the
different
2
sides.
assists, if you look at the 2 assists that Doku does have for Haaland, he's close to Haaland in the centre of the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, his first one that he got at Ipswich, he's not on the touchline. Yeah, he's running through basically the centre of the pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
the
yeah,
two times that Doku's assisted Haaland, he's not been on the touchline. He's not been cutting. He's not been trying to cut the ball back. That doesn't work. So let's see what. And I've always said this on a chat. I've always said that for me, the Doku thing is not just a Doku thing. It's a coaching thing. It's a Haaland thing. It's if people. Like, I'm not Doku's biggest fan. Don't think it's going to work out. However, I just think that people who only blame Doku for the lack of connectivity between Doku and Haaland are wrong. I think it's a three-way thing. It's a Haaland thing and it's a coaching thing as well. So let's see what happens with him, man. But obviously positive sides.
It's the same with Savio that when it was being reported we were selling Savio, then we would be buying Rodrigo. I was definitely there for it, right? And I'm not going to flip-flop and say, nah. I was saying we should keep Savio 100%. I wanted to sell Savio. But the one thing I did say is, it is sad that we're selling him without giving him a chance on the left-hand side, right? And that is, again, that's a Pep issue. That for me, some of the things that maybe last season frustrated me about Pep is there were things that, look, if I come here and me and you chat on something and both of us have seen something, and then you speak to other fans at games and they're saying the same shit, and then you're seeing everyone in the comments saying the same shit, and you're going, why is Pep not seeing what all of us are seeing? That was the frustrations from last season, right? And that is on him. Like, for me, now we do have Savio. We've got him at least until January. Give him a chance on the left-hand side and let's see if he can create more. Look, both Savio and Doku have been given a lifeline with the Marmoush injury. Yeah? They've been given a lifeline with that. And maybe even, well, sometimes mad things happen. Maybe even, the whole Ait-Nouri not being fit to play and so O'Reilly starting on the left, maybe that had an impact on where Doku ended up drifting into the middle a lot more.
Maybe. What? Because he thought O'Reilly had pushed forward a little bit more.
O'Reilly can push forward.
Whereas Ait-Nouri's not really been pushing forward, has he?
Ait-Nouri's been sitting back.
Yeah.
Ait-Nouri's been... Or, I don't know. I'm just looking at it and thinking, why did things change that game when Pep has been so stubborn with Doku, stick to the left? And, ball genius. But, bro, we need to glaze Kuzanov.
Yeah, let's glaze Kuzanov. Gary said from start to finish, he fights and scraps. My number one. Says Gary. Yeah, now listen, man. I think this guy is should be one of the first names on the team sheet. That's I honestly do.
Well, you know what? From the day we signed him, I remember we were in Paris in the airport at Paris, right? To fly home, and I started last season. I started looking. We just signed him the day before, so I was looking at all of his clips, and straight away I was going, "Yo, this guy's sick. This guy is everything we fucking need. Like, he's got pace. He's strong when we're starting to look a bit weak. He's a fighter. You can see he seems a bit like a character as far as remember David Silva, just eat, sleep, breathe football. Yeah. You can see Kuzanov, same thing, right? Yeah. And last season, I thought he was good. I think he got, even in his first game against Chelsea, it was, wasn't it, where he made the mistake. I think he got completely unfairly treated afterwards by everyone, because I actually think I thought he was very fucking good in that game. He just had a shaky 15 minutes as a young kid being put on a pitch with a City team that weren't in a good place, right? And then, but if we talk about the weekend, there's nothing about him. So I was on the stream with Alan earlier and a few other guys on Mancunian Way, and they were saying, look, yeah, he was good, but going to ground a bit quickly, and he will, and I was like, I don't want that to change one fucking bit. That's what we need right now. And even more so in a derby, right? I wanted him to fly. I was saying, I don't give a shit if Cunha starts. I don't give a shit if he goes straight through him, right? I'd love that. In a derby, that's what you need. And I said, look, what are we doing? Mendy was our general. He went to ground quickly. Sometimes you need that. And actually, someone said, yeah, but at times maybe if he goes to ground too early, then players is going to skin and be off down the wing. And I said, agreed. Well, maybe someone like Diaz needs to step in there and be the one going to ground and leaving Kuzanov to then cover him. But someone sometimes needs to. And down that right-hand side, I don't think they had one chance created down there, did they?
Well, there was a lot of crosses from Doku, but I think that was
down the left-hand side. All right, there. Left.
Yeah. Nah, not really, not. But the thing is, though, like that'll come with experience, Daps. Yeah. Obviously, he's a young player. He's a bit rash, and he's probably, he took who did he take out? Was it Xerxes or someone where he just went straight through?
Yeah.
And it was just like there was absolutely no need to do that.
Yeah.
He'll learn that with time, but. I'd rather have him in there than some passive defender that doesn't get stuck in and is a soft ass that we've seen a lot last year. Yeah, so I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet. I think he's got everything that we need. And I think the guy's going to be, as Josh says, I think the guy's going to be an absolute monster for this football club. Yeah, if he keeps developing, like getting better, picking and choosing when he is taking players out. Because as you say, there is a time and a place for that, 100%. You know what I mean? You don't want to completely eliminate it. It's just pick your moments. But I'm super impressed. He's been here 9 months now, and I'm super impressed with what I've seen. And I think that honestly, going forward, I think he's going to be a top player with for this football club, man.
I think as well, you've got to look at he's come to the Premier League and how quickly he is adapting to it. I think one of the things that's very important with him is that if he was the type, he's not the type of character that is going to get to Manchester City and go, yeah, I fucking made it. I don't need to develop. I'm done. Yeah. Perfect. I can kick back. He looks like the type of player that is trying to develop every single game and trying to learn. Like when people even saying, oh, he can't play out from the back. Well, first and foremost, where we are as a club, right? I want my defenders to defend. Yeah. We can work on this. We can work on this. We're not in a place where we can be entitled, right? And go, nah, we want this and that. And that has pissed me off when people saying, yeah, but Daps, we should play Nunez or Rico because they can get involved in the build-up play more. Bro, that infuriates me because I'm thinking, all right, cool. So let's play someone that can get involved in the build-up play more but can't defend for shit, right? Because the problem is we're leaking goals. Like I go back to Al Hilal. We scored 3 goals, but we lost 4-3, right? If we defend better, we win that game. It's that simple. And that infuriates me where people are focusing on our right back that he can do other things over defending first. And by the way, I've got to credit Pep on this, that is where maybe Pep is defending. Because everyone has said to me, Nobbins was saying to me last week, but Daps, Pep won't adapt because the way that Pep plays, he needs his right back to get involved in the game in a different way. Well, guess what? Pep adapted. He played Kuzanov, and it worked.
Because Pep's had enough of these fucking... I'm sorry, Pep's had enough of Nunez, man. You know what I mean? I think, I think he rates him going forward and that. But the fact is with Nunez, it's an undeniable fact that the guy costs you a lot of points, man, defensively. Like, he just does. It's just a fact. And I think, obviously, coming into this game, this game was a must-win game. Yeah, it was. It wasn't a must-not-lose. It was a must-win game because we lost 2 out of the first 3.
Bro, it was... And the fact we've got Arsenal as well, if we would have lost the game against Man United, right, and then we go to the Emirates, we would have been going into, so we've played 4, 5, we'd be going into game week 6 with 3 points, right? If we would have,
not good.
That is where
you've got uncomfortable conversations.
It is, bro, and that's what I'm saying. I said 10 league games, yeah. If after 6 we have 3 points, those conversations are coming soon. They're coming very soon. They're knocking.
They're already there. They're already there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and even more so, the fact that in a derby, and we've got to remember last season, both games in the derby, there was no fight. So we'd also be playing. There would start being a conversation about, are these players even playing for the manager anymore? There would have been so many, because again, we've seen Pep managed to get them up for that game as well. So I saw everything I needed to see. I'm kind of a bit... I get when rivals are trying to straight away say, Daps, calm down, you're acting X, Y, and Z, when I'm really making it very clear I'm not. But when even some of our own fan base straight away. I'm like, nah, you know what? After a derby win, just let me be happy, but not just off the derby win. I'm seeing positive signs, right? I'm the last person that thinks you're going to go from 0 to 100 overnight, but I saw some positive signs, and that's the other thing that makes me happy.
No,
What do you think about Diaz, by the way?
I thought Diaz was all right. I think some people are glazing him a bit too much. I think he was all right. I think he was good, but nothing. Some people say he was amazing. I don't agree with that.
Nah, I think as a unit they were good. I think
they were good as a unit.
Yeah,
they were decent as a unit, man. It was a good. I'd probably stick with that defense for the Arsenal game.
Yeah, well, but, I think what I would, obviously we don't know exactly who's going to be available for Napoli, but going by what I think, with the fact that Vardy's only just come back, there'd be part of me that would keep Kuznetsov playing against Napoli, but I'd probably play him as a centre back.
Yeah, and maybe bring in Nunes.
Yeah. It's just, I think at the moment with Kuznetsov, I want to see Kuznetsov given consistent game time, because I honestly think this is his time to cement his importance in this City team. I want him, and at his age, I think Kuznetsov, just keep playing Kuznetsov, man. Just keep playing him. Like, I've been saying from after that Tottenham game, Kuznetsov must be the first name on the team sheet for me. He must be.
He's got to be on there. Yeah, it's just a bit of it's difficult, obviously, for Pep in terms of how does he manage the squad over these next 2 games, because they're so close, and because you'd like to just fuck the Napoli game off, but we can't. We can't fuck it off, because you see what happened last year. Yeah, we got to be trying to get the win against Napoli. Plus, we're at home; it's a home game. We've got to be trying to win. So I think you've got to rotate a little bit. You know what I mean? And
I've got to take that you. And I think the majority of your community are not going to like, right? And by the way, let me be clear. Do I want to win the Champions League this season? Absolutely, right? I would love nothing more than to win the Champions League. But I care less about the Champions League than I do the Premier League at the moment, because of where we are. I'm just being real at the moment. Can I see this City team winning the Champions League this season? Nah, probably not. So at the moment, I'm looking at that Arsenal game, thinking if we can get some points against Arsenal and start building a bit of momentum, I think that would fare us further in the Champions League. Sometimes you look at these type of games, and it's my personal preference. I will always be bread and butter over the Champions League. Like, even if anyone says to me which one you can win, I always say the league.
I've always been Premier League over the Champions League. However, since we won the first Champions League, and we're only 2 behind United, I have now sort of like, because we're not going to catch United.
That's Steve's view as well, by the way. That's Steve's view, is the catching United on the Champions League.
Yeah, we're not going to catch United on the Prems, man. They've got fucking 20 or something. You know what I mean? Like, we've only got 10, I think. So we're miles away. But Champions League, we're only 2 behind. We win a second Champions League, we're 1 behind United, man. So I'm looking at it going, I don't think that we're good enough to start prioritizing different trophies this year.
No.
And this is why, for the last 5-6 years, I've never moaned when Pep's got a Carabao Cup game and just fucked it off. Never moaned. Because I've always understood that we're so good that we're going to be focusing on the Premier League to Champions League, which has happened, right? We won 4-peat, we won the treble. I get it. However, where I changed now, and I will be annoyed, is I recognise that we're not as good as we were in previous years. Yeah. And, Premier League is not a guarantee. Champions League is not a guarantee. Not the FA Cup's not a guarantee. So I will now be disappointed if Pep does basically just sack the Carabao Cup off, because I think that we have to respect every trophy that we're in now. And I don't think we can... Listen, when we get into March, April and May, then you might, depending on what's going on, maybe you are like priority. But at this stage of the season, given how we're playing, I just think every game we just need to be like, give it our all. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think this game, right, are you resting Rodri against...
I wouldn't even have him in the squad.
What, against Napoli, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't even have him in the squad.
I agree with you. See, it's interesting because I was just speaking with Hooks, right? And his view as an Arsenal fan was that if I was you, I wouldn't play him against Arsenal because,
Of course, he'd say that.
because of the intensity of the game. Now, I hear what he's saying because the thing is, we have to be completely real about this. Yeah, remember, Bernardo and Liverpool had that thing. Bernardo and Liverpool fans hate each other, bro. Arsenal fans, Rodri lives rent-free in their head. And it's not even from the comments he's made about like him just knowing already the minute they came and played for a draw. Bro, from the minute he did that knee slide at the Emirates on the 1st of January years ago, them lot have despised him. They are rattled by him because he fucking owns their club. He owns their club. And I think from a Rodri point of view, do you know it's exactly a year after he got injured against them on Sunday?
It's 364 days, isn't it?
It's mad, bro. And look, I'm not blaming no Arsenal player for the Rodri injury. However, we all do remember that elbow in the face that he got, that little shoulder in the face he got in the opening 5 minutes.
Yeah, Havertz,
right?
wasn't it?
Bro, I can't lie. I could see a Rodri winner against them.
Oh, I fucking love it. Now, it's for me, right? At the end of the day, we have to go to the Emirates and put in a performance. So you have to play Rodri. And we can't be a club that's now scared about playing players at different type of games. You know what I mean? So for me, rest Rodri against Napoli because he needs the rest, and then just full send him out on Sunday at the Emirates. And give Nico Gonzalez. What's your thoughts on Nico? Be honest here, right? Yeah, no glaze. It's a safe space. What do you think of Nico Gonzalez?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'll be honest with you. I've even over the summer and whatever. Do I want to see Nico Gonzalez be given time? Of course, because he's come into City, and so you back your play when he's got there. Of all the signings, he's probably been the one I'm least impressed with. I don't think he's done much that's impressed me. Probably the most impressive thing I've seen from him was probably the goal he scored against, was it Bournemouth?
Yeah, good goal, wasn't it? Yeah.
Good goal, quality goal. And maybe that is, you know what, to be fair to the lad, the fact that, he is not a 6, he is more of an 8. And actually, that again, maybe Nico Gonzalez is better in the final third than he is actually doing the job that we need him for. Because he's not excited me at all. I'll be honest with you, he's not. I backed him and said, I think last season, one of the frustrations was we needed him last season, and it was frustrating that sometimes maybe he wasn't used in what we thought we needed him for. Yeah. So we were frustrated because it was like, look, Rodri's out. We need a 6. We've gone and bought one. Fucking play him, right? That was the frustration. But I don't think he's done anything to make me really go, yeah. I want to see. I'm not here saying I want to see Gonzalez now. Like I'll be real. If Kovacic was fit, I'd be starting Kovacic over Gonzalez all day.
Really?
I'm a Kovacic fan though. We know this. I know there's a lot of people that aren't. I'm a big Kovacic fan. The only reason why maybe I wouldn't against Arsenal is because Kovacic seems to have annual stinkers against Arsenal. But apart from that, I think Kovacic is. I would go Kovacic over Gonzalez. And when people see this straight away, people will disagree with me. And I'll take this back. If you lot that are disagreeing with me over Kovacic is better than Gonzalez, how much of Gonzalez have you seen? Like, be honest with yourself. How much of Gonzalez have you seen?
I've only seen him at City.
Right. So, based on that, you've only seen him at City. And this is the thing where people's arguments will move, because there will be people in the chat that will be talking about mentality being everything. And that's why we need sign Donnarumma. We need sign Rodrigo. We need mentality. And then try and downplay Kovacic, right? Because if we're talking about winners, LB, who's one of the most serial winners in our team?
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. I think he's
It's
got
Kovacic, bro.
Four Champions League.
It's Kovacic. So we can't talk about mentality without putting Kovacic's name in it. Kovacic has been at the club for 2 seasons. Last season, I actually think behind Vardy, Kovacic might have been our best player. And I think the season before, when we did the 4P, he was up there as well. So I think the Kovacic hate is mad. I think, and finally,
I do.
And finally, last season, even if you look at the period, look at the 4P season, the back end of the season when Rodri started complaining about how tired he was, who was Rodri's legs? Kovacic. Last season, how much could we have done with Kovacic in certain games just to pick up the ball and move the ball forward? Because Kovacic is one of the best drivers with the ball we have. So I don't know.
Yeah, his ball carrying ability is insane. I think I think it's pretty obvious that he will start this game because obviously Kovacic is not available.
Napoli,
I think Pep. I think you're being a bit silly if you start Rodri after that
Yeah,
United game.
100%.
So I think it's pretty obvious that Nico Gonzalez starts this Napoli game. In my opinion, I think it's possibly one of his biggest games of his Manchester City career now.
Yeah.
That's because this is a game where we need Nico Gonzalez. This is what you were bought for. Rodri can't play because he needs to be rested. Yeah, we need you. We need you to put in a performance and help our team get the 3 points against Napoli. Against a good opposition. They're not amazing. They're obviously a good opposition. They won the league last year. Respect to them, right? They are a good side, but they're not fucking prime Barca or prime, Liverpool or prime Real Madrid or whatever. They're just a solid team. We need you to put in a good performance. If he doesn't, I fear for I already fear for his future at the club. And people will be like, oh, it's too soon to say that. It's not too soon to say that. It wasn't too soon to say it after Phillips. It wasn't too soon to say it after Nunes. It won't be too soon to say it after this guy. Yeah. So again, I spoke about him a little bit last night. I like Nico Gonzalez, Dapsy. I think he's a good player. My problem is, I don't think Pep fully rates him. So I think this is a massive, massive game. However, he needs someone next to him, Daps. And this is why it would have been great if Kovacic was available. Because I think a Nico Gonzalez, Kovacic duo midfield would be able to lock that midfield off.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's the thing I'll say with Kovacic, right? Kovacic, for me, when he's playing alongside someone, like I do think Rodri and Kovacic they're mint together. Rodri and Kovacic are mint together, but Kovacic is not available. And I do think now, let me be clear on this Kovacic thing. I'm not a Kovacic needs to be a starter for Manchester City. For me, Kovacic right now, it would be perfect for games like this, games where Rodri needs a rest. Perfect for coming on and seeing out games that we're maybe 2 or 3-0 up in, or if we do end up getting 2 or 3-0 up in games. I think Kovacic is a good squad player to have now. Now, it's for Gonzalez to show me enough that I think he is a good squad player. I think you're spot on. You look at opportunities, games like this is an opportunity. Look, one of my biggest issues with Calvin Phillips is that Calvin Phillips, after that World Cup, had the opportunity to step in and get some game time so Rodri could have a rest after the World Cup, and he wasn't available, right? So and that wasn't down to injury, by the way, to be clear. That was down to he hadn't looked after his own fitness levels, right? So for me with Gonzalez, you're being given a chance now that you might not get again, because once Rodri is back fully fit, once Kovacic is back, once we have all our players back, Gonzalez isn't going to get another chance unless he starts taking them now. I think you're spot on. This is a game where
this is the point I'm making. Remember when Phillips had that game against Leicester, right? We were 3-0 up. He got subbed on and we won 3-2 and we were fucking shaky, yeah? Phillips has done podcasts since then, right? And said...
Is that what he's doing now?
Well, he done some, yeah. And he basically said that, like, after that game, it was never the same. Pep couldn't trust me. And with Pep, once you've lost his trust, you kind of fucked, mate. So I don't think Nico Gonzalez has lost Pep's trust. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying I think that Pep's sort of like looking at him thinking, I'm not 100% sure. This is why I'm saying this game for Nico Gonzalez on Thursday is possibly the biggest game of this geezer's career. He has to perform to a good level. He has to let everybody know, don't worry, if Rodri's out, I can step in and get the job done.
Yeah, it needs to be there.
If he can't, then you've got to ask questions about what he's going to do here. Yeah, I mean, it's no point in saying, well, he's only been here 9 months. It's 2. No. Phillips only had 4 months. Do you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it was. Nunes did he even get any games in midfield?
Who?
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think he did. Do you know what? I think this is the key, that there's this season, we're already seeing our squad being stretched, right?
Yeah.
Now, with players like Rodri, however much Rodri will 100% want to win shit with City this season. But we have to remember, once it gets to maybe February, March time, Rodri is going to have one eye on the World Cup, right? And not just Rodri, and this isn't just City players. All players, like even Haaland, I'll be real with you, even Haaland, right? Haaland has got Norway. He's put Norway on his back and got them to a World Cup. Haaland Rodri, none of these players are going to want to be overused, ran into the ground, and then miss out on a World Cup, right? That would be and for Rodri at his age as well, that is a nightmare. If Rodri picks up a knock in the last couple of months of the season, yeah, that could be potentially his last World Cup, right? So we need now, early doors, to know, do we have someone that when Rodri needs rest can step in? Because that is exactly it. That Rodri didn't get the rest. That Rodri may never have got this injury if Calvin Phillips fucking stepped up and proved himself. Right? Because Rodri could have got rested a lot more. So it's so important that Gonzalez, if he gets an opportunity, he takes it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, fuck him off. Sorry, but and I'll get rid of him. And sorry, we tried, it didn't work. We keep it moving because we can't run Rodri into the ground. We cannot do that. And you are looking at other players going, well, you didn't step up, so you need to take some of the blame for that.
Exactly. No, I agree, and that's why I'm saying I think this game for him is a huge game, man. When you look at this squad, then Daps, yeah, on the whole, right? You look at the whole squad, right? Let's just say they're all fit or whatever. Do you see enough quality across the whole pitch to win the league? Or because I see quality, and let me explain what I mean by that. I see quality in the spine of the team: Donnarumma, Gvardiol, Rodri, Reinders, Foden, Haaland. Yeah, I see quite. I know Reinders hasn't had a couple of good games, but I see quality in the spine. Then I look outside of the spine. I look to the arms and the legs, and I'm like, not sure on that. I don't know if we've got enough outside of the spine. I think we've got a very, very good spine, but outside the spine, I think it's a little bit weak. When you assess the squad as a whole, do you think we've got enough as a whole to win the league, or do you still think we need another transfer window?
So sometimes when people, the best way to get the realist answer is just say, don't think about it, don't assess the squad. Do you think Man City can win the league this season? And just say the first thought that comes to your head. And the first thought that comes to my head was instantly no. Like I'm not going to be a happy clapper and say right now I think we can win the league. I said before the start of the season that I thought we would be fighting for third, but that give me a few games to assess, and then I'll make a shout. And at the moment, I think one of the key facts is I don't want to sound like an Arsenal fan, right? But I'm not going to say injuries, but our squad still looks tired already, and we're game week 3, right?
Could that be something to do with the fact we not have a pre-season?
Yeah, I do. I think there's many people say excuses, and fair play, because if a rival said it, I'd probably say excuses. But for me, I call it reasons, right? And at the moment, I just think when I look at this City team and the fact that we were rushing last minute to get players back for the derby, right? I just don't think the squad's deep enough, experienced enough maybe now, and quality. Yeah, I can't act like I've been saying all I wanted to do was fucking celebrate that we beat Man United and we're starting to look better, right? I'm not going to get carried away and now go, yeah, do you know what? Actually, Doku and Savio are fucking perfect wingers for us. And one of the things that I liked, and this seems to be a hot take, right? But I actually think Rodri, Reinders and Foden in the middle of the park, right, at the weekend, looked quite good. Now, people straight away, Daps, they were sloppy. I hear it. But were we moving the ball faster than we did against Brighton and Tottenham? Yes, we were. Were there less mistaken passes than against Brighton and Tottenham? Yes, there were. Were we actually forming some triangles on the fucking pitch again in the middle of the park? Yes, we were, which was beautiful to see. Were they moving the ball about? Look, they've only started playing together, so it's not going to look like prime Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva and Rodri or whatever at the time was, yeah? It's not going to look like that. Or Gundogan, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne. It's not going to look like that yet because it was their first game together. But I just don't think we've got enough quality in depth. It's the depth. You take a couple of players out and we could look like a very different team.
Yeah, I just don't think we've got enough quality on the wings and the fullback area. I think the quality elsewhere is good enough, but I think our whole wide areas just not enough quality.
Yeah. I think but I've said this to a gal before the season started, right? that I actually think if we're talking balance-wise, and again, injuries play a big part to this, but if we're talking about our midfield, and when I say balance, I mean everything. You can talk about age and experience, you can talk about creativeness, you can talk about ball retention, however you want to talk, right? I actually think we might have one of the most balanced midfields in the Premier League, right? We've got creative players in Foden and Cherky. We've got a box crasher ball carrier in Reinders and Kovacic as well. Rodri also, once back fully fit, can crash the box. Gonzalez as an 8 can do that as well. And that's without me pulling in the fact that Rico and actually Nico are also midfielders. I think we've got a very balanced midfield, fully fit.
I agree. I think our midfield is class.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Like I say, I think if you look at the spine, and I guess the whole midfield can be involved in that because they're all central players. I think it's mint. I really, really do. My problem is the wingers and the fullbacks. I just don't think they're anywhere near the levels that we need to be at the moment to win the league. And I think that's a lot. That's 4 players.
Yeah. So I don't want to. Right. LB. So I'm going to do it to you, and I want you to just say straight away. Don't sit there and think. Just. Have you been impressed with Nouri so far?
No.
Right, good. Thank you. I'm glad you say that.
No,
because,
not.
Right, good.
But it's early days, isn't it? It's only 3 games.
Early days, to be fair to him. And
I thought he got absolutely ripped apart against Brighton.
Yeah.
Scarily ripped apart.
The one thing I would say in his defence, right, is he has had a couple of knocks already, right? And so, so that probably has impacted him a bit. And he is new to a team, but he hasn't impressed me so far at all. Like, do you know what? Before the United game, if you actually looked at our signings, Trafford actually for Premier League games had probably been our best player.
He was up there, wasn't he? Yeah.
Because he was good against Wolves and he was good against Brighton, right? Yeah. Admittedly, he had a stinker against Tottenham. If we're talking 3 games, well, Reinders has had 1 good game. Nouri, you probably wouldn't even say 1 good game, and Cherky had a good 15 minutes. So actually, in a mad way, you're actually saying out of the 3 sides, Trafford probably hit the ground running the most. So I'm glad you said that about Nouri, because before he got injured, I was saying I'd go back to playing O'Reilly, because back end of last season, O'Reilly worked. O'Reilly was one of the reasons we got Champions League football.
Yeah, no, he was. Well, he's injured now for a month anyway, so he's not going to play. But yeah, I would stick with O'Reilly.
Oh, I thought you meant O'Reilly.
No. Fucking hell, we'll be muddied. Yeah, Ake treble season back again, isn't it? You know what I mean? So,
that's another one. Who's one-off season?
Yeah.
I think because you I think I know who you're going to say, but one-off season, who's the best left-back you've seen at City?
Ake.
Yeah, not Cancelo. I was going to say it's Ake or Cancelo.
For a one-off season, I'd say
Ake treble season, yeah?
Bro, Ake locked everything up on that treble year. Nothing got past him, man. Nothing.
And the key thing is, I think I remember actually me and you having this conversation before, that whereas with the treble season, you can talk about certain players second half of the season, right? You know, from mid-February when we turned good to the end of the season, yeah? You can talk about periods. Bro, I remember Ake, that whole treble season was our one consistent player, right? Even during periods where others were not looking good, Ake down that left-hand side was unbelievable. It's a shame with all the injuries because his legs have gone. But I actually even think
I think his legs might be gone. I'm hoping it's just match fitness.
You think?
Well, I'm hoping and praying it's just lack of minutes, lack of match fitness. Again, he's probably going to play on Thursday against Napoli. I think he needs to play. I think we need to get him up to speed. But if he looks really shaky again against Napoli, then I think we might have to accept that maybe his legs have gone. But I'm hoping, because it's early in the season, he's not played that much. It's just a lack of minutes.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping that like a lot of our negative points that we've spoken about over the last 2-3 weeks since those couple of losses are just mainly down to that rustiness, because obviously we've not had a pre-season. Now I know that's copium and it might not be true, but what's the alternative?
I do look,
that we're just dog shit.
I really do look at that Brighton game and think there was we know we have a high line. We know Diaz has no pace, right? We counteracted that by starting Kuzin off that game. So fair play, right? We also played Rodri again. So straight away, they're two things that can help us against a high line. Kuzanov playing, or, you know what, I'm not going to say Kuzanov, a play with pace playing in the defence, right? And secondly, having Rodri back as the 6. Those two things straight away will help us concede less goals. Secondly, it is Haaland being more clinical. Because we can blame the defence, but we probably should have put that Brighton game to bed early doors.
Yeah, we probably should have. Yeah, we had a couple of good chances, but I think those 5 goals and 2 assists against Moldova massively helped. You know what I mean? Because people are going, it's only Moldova. Then they're missing the aspect of the confidence that comes with it. It's confidence, man.
Right. I've been saying this all last week, right? That our players all went away on international break off the back of 2 losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them came back off the back of 2 wins for their country.
Uh-huh.
What's that do for your mentality? Because you're walking back in, not with they left City's training camp to go on international duty with their head down, right? They came back, Derby ahead of us, going, we're fucking having it, boys, we're having it, with their head held high again. And even when you look at Doku scored 2. And the whole Haaland and scoring against Moldova thing, okay, if people want to say that, rivals, if you want to say that, no problem. But please be consistent with it. Please tell me how Gyökeres and Isak, between the pair of them, couldn't score against Moldova. Not one goal between them, right? 2 players. Everyone is telling us right now, Haaland needs to be careful because Isak and Gyökeres are as good as him. Okay, well, how about one of them puts their fucking country on their back and goes and bags that many goals against shit oppositions? Because let's be, even this Isak thing, bro, they'll say, yeah, but Haaland, the team Haaland played for. Isak played for Sweden, Haaland plays for Norway. The 2 teams are not that different, right? One's bagged 48 goals, the other's scored 16.
Yeah, I know.
And I like the way you dealt with 2 things on fucking Saeed's show yesterday that I love the way you dealt with. Firstly, when Don mentioned Drogba, and you said, "Don't do this because I like Drogba."
I really like Drogba. I think he's class, but come on, man, what are we doing?
Don't. And secondly, the one where Don started trying to talk about Donnarumma, and you just said, and he said, "Bro, tell me about how he was with his feet," and you go, "I don't give a shit, bro. We got a clean sheet." And then them 2 things are it. Like these conversations, bro. And finally, I went on a rant this morning. This is how much Manchester City boil piss, right? That we're apparently shit and washed now, but we have 1 game and we're still straight back in everyone's mouths again, right? And when you want to compare players, what club do you go to? You go to our club and you start comparing players. Like, bro, if any other fucking club in this country signed Donnarumma, they would be gaslighting him, right? But we sign him, and all of a sudden, the whole of England becomes obsessed with feet, right?
Did you see what Paul Scholes said about Donnarumma?
No, go on.
He said, if Manchester United were not trying to sign Donnarumma, that's a criminal offence.
This is, bro, and same with Chelsea. That's why I find
I agree.
that a Chelsea fan is trying to cook fucking Donnarumma when he's just had a debut like that. Yeah, I just thought, what type of? And the problem is, context is very important in a lot of things, but sometimes context is used way too fucking much as well, right? To try and deep dive, and we've all seen it. What's it called? Liverpool and Sky Sports glaze inverts, right? Making up stats, right? That's what context is. Context can be made up stats. Sometimes you just actually have to fucking use your eyes and look and go, yeah, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Too much conversation.
I agree. Just look at the basics. Everything tries to get overcomplicated these days now, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why everyone just wants to be like mad, like complicating things. Like, at the end of the day, Donnarumma, it's simple. If he keeps the ball out of the back of the net, good. If he doesn't, shit. Simple.
Yeah, exactly that.
You know what I'm saying? That. So anyway, they're saying, lads,
do you reckon Trafford or Donnarumma against Napoli?
I'd stick with Donnarumma just for this one. Yeah. Because I think we just need to get a little bit of stability in that back line. Obviously, we're going to be making a couple of subs, and I just think it'd be good for Donnarumma just to get some more minutes. He's only been here a week or whatever. But then next Champions League game going forward, I'd look at giving some minutes to James Trafford in some of the other group games. But just for this one, just giving how quick we're playing and that. I just think we could probably do with Donnarumma just getting some more minutes. That's all.
Actually, and let's be real, that was Donnarumma's first competitive game since the Champions League final. Yeah, that's bro. Yeah, the guy's a monster.
Crazy. Eh? Yeah. Did you see what Luis Campos said this morning?
Nah.
He spoke about him. He spoke about Donnarumma.
What did he say?
He said, "Here you go." Oh wait, that's Haaland. What did he say? Here we go. Okay, so let me put it on screen. Luis Campos, so this is a PSG, basically, I think he's the sporting director. He said, Donnarumma was one of the first we approached about renewing his contract, but we quickly realised it'd be difficult due to his wage demands. The club is more important than one player. Things have changed at PSG. Donnarumma asked for a salary at the level of the old PSG, not the current one. So, there you go.
That's what we thought. To be fair, that's what
I
we
don't
thought,
know, man.
right?
I think that's bullshit, mate. I think this sounds like spin. This sounds like spin. I don't think this was a wage issue. I think this was Luis Enrique didn't want him anymore. He wanted someone who could kick a ball better. So they got rid of him. And now, because now they've realized that maybe it might be a mistake already. Yeah. They're putting spin out in the press.
For me, I think he's going to want to prove, it's an interesting one with Donnarumma, right? Because it would. Do you know what? I feel for James Trafford, but you know what? I was going to say something, but I don't give a shit. Keep playing Donnarumma. It would be nice for there to be, they should compete, because I do think it's harsh on Trafford. But at the end of the day, Donnarumma, if he keeps putting in performances like that, that's everything we need. But I do think he's going to want all the Champions League games, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't need to play all the Champions League games, and you can play Trafford in some of them. That's what Paul Scholes said. Which I agree. I can't believe United didn't go for him, man.
Yeah, it's
I
mental.
cannot believe United didn't go
Absolutely
for him.
insane. So yeah, but I was saying early doors as well. I kept saying I don't understand why Chelsea are not, but I think it probably does make sense. Chelsea are trying to change their wage structure, aren't they? Where they're not paying too much. So maybe that is it.
Yeah, but that just means you don't get the top players.
Yeah. Oh, it does, bro.
That's just all that means. When fans are so stupid, I'm gonna call fans out. Yeah, fans are so fucking stupid. When you hear rival
Rory
fans
Jennings
talk,
moment here. This is Rory Jennings.
I'm being serious, man. When rival fans talk about, we're not gonna buy that player because we don't want to break the wage structure. First of all, mate, it's not your fucking money. Second of all, does that mean that you're just never gonna have any of the better players then?
Yeah,
because you're not going. Because by the way, when if Cole Palmer gets back to absolutely slamming it again, and does that consistently, he's going to want 300, 400 grand a week, just like the top players in Europe want.
Right.
So at some point, this is why wage structures shouldn't. I don't even think anyone should have a wage structure, because when you put a structure in place, it's there to be broken, and then when you have to break it, it becomes this big thing like, oh my god, we've broken the wage structure. Fucking hell, just pay players what they're worth. If a player's worth 500 grand a week, give them 500 grand a week. If they're worth 100 grand a week, give them 100 grand a week. It's not that deep, man.
And the thing is, that look, in life, we all have to negotiate things, right? And sometimes we all don't get what we think we're worth, right? But that's just the way it fucking is. Like, if Donnarumma is worth more. So if a player says, well, I want the same as Donnarumma, you're not worth the same as Donnarumma. Well, I want to go then. Okay, fair enough.
See you later.
Yeah. I agree with you. Do you know what? Cass said something about Chelsea as well that was so true. A couple of weeks back, I heard him say it. It's all great, the players that they're getting. And by the way, I'm not overly gassed with any of Chelsea's signings, really, apart from Pedro. Pedro started quality.
I think that Esteval's a baller, to be fair.
He looks like a baller, but we'll see in it. He's still young, needs to be given time. But there's no way that, and by the way, by Chelsea's standards, Chelsea should be, their aim this season should be to win the league.
I agree.
And I don't give a shit what anyone says. First and foremost, you cannot be coming out and screaming champions of the world, but then all of a sudden go back to your own country and go, oh yeah, but we're not ready to win the league yet. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And ultimately, if you are saying that, then you're downplaying the trophy that you're trying to talk up, right? Because you're just saying it's not that important. Secondly, Chelsea are a team that in the last 10 years have won multiple trophies, including Premier Leagues, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they won in 2017.
2017, thank you. So in their recent history, this is not like Arsenal where we can go, you know what? This Arsenal era, they don't know how to win with the trophies. This Chelsea team know how to fucking win trophies, yeah? And they've just finished third and they've just won the Club World Cup. So if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm saying next season, we must be challenging for the league. Otherwise, we're not progressing. Now, then you think about that and go, okay, let's look at their defence. They ain't winning no league with that defence and that goalkeeper. Simple and short.
Well,
Like,
this is why I've been saying this for like 3 months and all the Chelsea fans hate me. And I just don't get why they hate me because all I say is facts. I say, what, you're going to go for win the league and you bought Gittins and Garnacho. You've still got Tosin playing and Chalobah and Sanchez in goal. Yet for some reason, these Chelsea fans call me out every single week and say, you just help Chelsea. You don't rate our players like they're mint. And I'm like, what am I not seeing here? Honestly, what am I not seeing, bro?
This is the thing. But Chelsea did the winning the Club World Cup. And do you know what? They fair play. I don't think Chelsea looked great in the Club World Cup, but in the final against PSG, they looked quality and they completely out-tacticked PSG. So got to give them credit for that. But I don't think this Chelsea team's great at all. Even going forward, I don't think that great. I think their wingers, apart from Palmer, I think their wingers are pretty average. Pedro's come in and he's absolutely cooking. But ultimately, you don't win leagues with a defence that is that poor and a keeper that's that shit. It just doesn't happen. Like, someone tell me one. Please, even if you go and talk about the Leicester team, bro, I'd have far more faith in that Leicester centre-back pairing than I do Chelsea's centre-back pairing. And before they won the league, no one was talking anything about fucking those centre-backs, were they?
That's what I'm saying. It's wild, bro. I'm always getting into beefs with Chelsea, but I just don't understand why. Like,
they've got. Do you know what? I'll give them. They've got two good fullbacks. I rate both. I rate.
Well, this is the thing. I don't say this shit. I say I think they'll comfortably get top 5. Yeah, the fullbacks are mega. I like the midfield. Yeah. But other than that, it's just mid.
Yeah, and the maddest
thing
is,
a whole lot of mid.
And this is it. Chelsea and Chelsea's fan base, I almost rate the fact that how they walk around with so much chest, giving zero shits about anything, right? Whether it comes, we spend, and then we instantly are trying to tell people how it's okay that we spend, right? Chelsea walk around, spend what the fuck they want, and say, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? We're spending what we want. And even now with the cheating thing, they've gone in and said, yeah, we did 74 times what, right? I had people the next day saying, are we really doing this? I don't want to have this is boring. We don't need to have a conversation about this. And I was like, no. I have not had to face 115 spamming every single chat for 2.5 fucking years. And we're saying we're innocent. You've gone in and said you're guilty of 74 things, right? And after a day, you're saying you don't want to have a chat about it anymore.
Bro, every single stream, every single newspaper when City 115 broke was just 115 for years. And this 74 charges for the Chelsea dropped. And just like nobody's speaking about it.
It's no, literally, never found multiple people saying, bro, this is yesterday's news. Nah, I'm not talking about it no more. It's boring. And I'm like, nah, you're not getting away with that. Like, and I was ready to say, do you know what? Oil Brothers, fucking listen, my one bit of advice is don't go guilty, because if you fight the Premier League, you might get away with it. They're like, no, we've already gone guilty. I'm like, well, you're pricks for doing that. It's just mad. But even, bro, what sums up Chelsea fans is Saturday. I had a Chelsea fan say to me on Sunday, but Daps, I'm not being funny, but you can't really celebrate beating Man United because they're a team with no arms and legs anyway. It's like beating up someone with no arms and legs. And I'm like, all right, well, you're champions of the world. You just played fucking Brentford under a new manager and drew, right? So how do you have any chest to say anything? You should be, as champions of the world that you want to keep telling us you are, you should be smacking up Brentford like it's any random Tuesday.
Yeah. It's mad. It's wild, bro. It's actually fucking insane. We'll see. I'm yeah. And the Chelsea fans fucking hate me for some reason. I don't even like. They go, "Oh, you're just jealous because we beat you in the fucking Champions League." I was
But we
like,
still go on about that.
honestly, I don't even give a fuck, bro. Honestly, it's a madness.
Have they beat us since the Champions League final?
I don't think so. I'm more pissed off that we got beat off Wigan than I am Chelsea in the Champions League.
Oh,
final.
the thing is, the Champions League final, the reason why the Champions League final hurt so much, yeah, is because then we didn't win one afterwards. The minute we won a Champions League, I'm literally like, you what? Oh, yeah, bro, fuck. Yeah, fine. We've got one now. Like, we're not bothered about that. We've got one of them. It's fine. We went and bought a new one. It's okay. They still go on about that one.
No, it's mad. Crazy. Right, anyway, we'll leave it there, boys. Big up to everybody in the building, man. Do me a favour before you go. There's still over 800 people locked in on this stream, man. Smash the like button. Doesn't cost you a penny. Massively help support the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well. Subscribe to South Stand as well. They're live all the time. And I'll be back later on. I've got 2 watch-alongs coming later on the second channel. More LB, Arsenal, Bilbao. And I'm going to watch the Real Madrid-Marseille game, guys. So both of them games going to be on the second channel. Link is in the description. More LB, so get yourself on that one, yeah. Champions League watch alongs like Batman.
Trent watch,
Jude watch, Rodrigo watch if he starts. I don't think he started the game, has he?
Is he not?
I don't think so.
Well,
He's been benched the whole time, bro. It's crazy, man.
Hell.
It's crazy. But nah, big up, man. I'll see you guys. It's early kickoff, by the way. Arsenal's at 5:45 UK time. Early kickoff, 5:45 chat. So just FYI on that one. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, big up to you guys in a bit.